Hey everyone, it's Nindo. I thought about starting a What If series on the channel, because I kind of want to change up some of the content style I've been doing, and, get back into actually uploading. Today we'll be exploring the events of My Hero Academia if instead of Izuku being born quirkless, he indeed inherited his father's quirk of fire breath. We start this What If the day Izuku was in the doctor's office. After testing, the doctor smiles to the child and his mother, offering somewhat good news. Ma'am, I'm glad to inform you your son isn't quirkless. He does have a quirk. It's just rather weak right now. Izuku, extremely happy at this news, his eyes light up and sparkle. He doesn't care if his quirk is weak. He says it's ecstatic not to, have been born quirkless, and that he indeed does have a quirk. Izuku's mother, Inko, asks the doctor, "Doctor, what is his quirk?" The doctor looks down at his paperwork and replies with a happy, subtle tone. It would seem he has his father's quirk, but as of right now, it's too weak to actually produce flames. For now, he can generate hot air, but that's about it. If you just give it time, I'm sure your son will be spitting flames in no time. From here, I see it mostly playing out the same. I initially wanted to change the name that Bakugo would tease Deku with, from something like Dragonfly to Firefly, something to reflect the whole Izuku's weak flame quirk and the insect-like mentality that Bakugo looks down on Deku with. But for now, I will leave it as Deku. If you guys would like me to change it for the rest of this What If series, comment down below or vote on the poll to the right. If you prefer Firefly, Dragonfly, or another name, or if you just want good old Deku. But if you would like to suggest your own names, comment down below and I'll make sure to credit the best one. Now we skip forward to where Izuku is watching Kamui Woods and Mount Lady take down a villain together. Izuku's behaviors and mannerisms wouldn't change much. He would still take notes on the mass amount of heroes in the world and would still continue to analyze them on occasions when nobody's around, like when he was attacked by the sledge villain. I could see him practicing his fire breath quirk, always training to get it stronger. But while yes, it has gotten stronger, he still cannot do much more than a small flame-like torch. This would result in his body, however, being somewhat stronger. If I had to find a way to say it clearly, I would say that this timeline's Deku is about 10% stronger than the original timeline's Deku if you go by lift. From here on, the encounter with All Might and the sledge villain would proceed as normal. Deku would still grab onto All Might's leg afterwards, flying over the cities and buildings. Only change would be their dialogue in the conversation. In the original timeline, Izuku more or less couldn't be a hero because he had no quirk. Here I could imagine that All Might would take a somewhat softer approach to it. Something similar to what Fuego Leon did in Black Clover. Young man, there is no shame in being weak. The shame is choosing to stay weak. Train your body and your quirk, and someday you can become a mighty hero. This would give Deku a glint in his eyes like when he was a child. He has hope, and is going to give it his all to develop his weak quirk. Then he looks down at his hands and clutches his fist. As these words light a fire in Deku, he takes a deep breath, and fire flares from his nostrils like a dragon. His motivation to become a hero has not just been reignited, but is now so strong you can see that very fire in his eyes. All Might sees this and takes note. He smiles and with that bellowing voice states, "Young man, your eyes. They're much like mine long ago." Eventually Izuku would stumble across the scene where Bakugo is being violated by the slime villain. Izuku, for a moment, watches as his friend is being enveloped by this monster. The many heroes looking onto the situation with dread. He would hesitate, but then for a moment would think about the words that All Might had told him. And while he won't be completely fearless, he'll show more courage than he did before. He would charge at the villain, throwing his bag, nailing him in the eye. As the heroes would call out to him to stop, the slime villain would extend his arms, sweeping at Izuku. Izuku would slide under it, narrowly missing the hit. His heart pumping, his adrenaline rushing, Izuku would claw away at the villain, desperately trying to save Bakugo. Responding to his emotional stress, his quirk would kick in. He would start to breathe fire A small amount, but enough to make a small portion of the villain boil, stunning him in pain, just long enough to give All Might the time to get in there and rescue the two boys like in the original timeline. With a Detroit Smash! At the end of the day, Bakugo would do his sort of things, seeing Izuku's actions and how he charged in to save him, even dodging one of the villain's attacks, following up by using his quirk to stun him in pain. I could see Bakugo having a slight bit more of an appreciation for these actions, and maybe a bit more of an appreciation for Deku. I do not see this completely changing their relationship, but it would make it much easier for it to change in the future, more so than it did in the original timeline. Followed by this, Izuku would still receive the offer from All Might to inherit One for All. I could see Izuku still accepting this offer to take All Might's power, but this is where I'll leave it up to you guys. When it comes to training, will All Might incorporate more quirk development training into Izuku's innate quirk, or will he focus on the classic body training, or perhaps strike up a even balance of both? Comment down below what you guys thought. If you guys liked this what if, please tell me your thoughts about it down below. And don't forget to check out all the links in the description. I want to thank you guys for watching this. I hope you enjoyed my first what if. Please hang in there with me while I try to improve doing what ifs. And if you have any tips for me improving on what ifs in the future, please leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys later. Nindo out.